Okay, here's our coyote skull.
Skull.
Yep, that's the skull. Now the first thing I'm going to do is anything that's really loose, like you can see this here, it's just rubbing off. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scrub this. And if you go like this in the dry air, there's going to be splatters everywhere. So what I've learned is if you put your skull underwater, you can scrub as hard and as fast as you want. And you're not going to get any spray.
Yeah.
You were wondering about that, were you?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about, like, I was thinking,
And you can see a lot of that is coming right off.
actually what I was thinking about was which way I was going to kill you if I walked in the slimy stuff when my sock feet, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you think you would have learnt by now that you shouldn't walk around in this house in your socked feet. You never know what the cat's going to leave you.
Yeah, well,
They might leave you a squishy mouse.
Yeah. That's always good. I already did that one.
Yeah, and then you never noticed that you walked in it until I found it and said, you didn't happen to notice the dead body in the kitchen, did you?
No, that's a good technique.
Well, it's really important because you don't want to splash the stuff up into your face.
So you're going to sneak Grandma's denture thing back in her thing later, eh? Denture brush back.
Yeah, it's a good note to people that if you are going to use a denture brush, don't use your grandmother's denture brush. She will not be impressed. I don't know that from experience because my grandmother died a long time before I started doing this. But I wonder what my relatives think of this. A lot of them probably think I'm absolutely insane. Now there's still some mummified matter on here that has to be scraped, but a lot of it has come off with scrubbing.
Now you're going to bleach it, are you? No, you're not going to use bleach. You're going to whiten it, or what? Or do you have to?
Well,
you're going to paint
it is going to have to be bleached again,
Yeah.
but it's not bleaching for whitening. It's bleaching for sanitation. I do not whiten the skulls.
Okay.
They can be whitened by leaving them in the sun. I might do that a little bit, but I don't bleach them for whiteness. I like a more natural bone color.
Well, you know, if you leave them in the sun, they'll sanitize too. The sun, the ultraviolet will kill bacteria.
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bleach them for 24 hours in a bleach solution. They have already been bleached, but with all this mummification, it's best to give them a second bleaching. And what I'm doing right now is removing mummified flesh. That's pretty hard on there. Yep, this is a coyote.
Where'd you get that one?
This is one of the ones that Krista brought up. Cal, out. Yeah, that's still pretty hard on there. So what I'm going to need is my scalpel blade. Little stubby 15.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got some mummified flesh on here, and I'm going to need to remove that with a scalpel blade. Now, I'm sitting a bit too high for that, so I have to get in a bit closer, so I'm just going to sit on the floor. Now, the flesh has been reconstituted here, but there's no smell to it. It's hard to get a good grip on it.
Yeah, it'd be slimy.
Yeah, it's like wet rawhide when the dog's chewing on it.
Slimy.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to handle.
What, wet rawhide?
Yeah.
Especially when she brings it over and drops it right in your lap.
Slide my foot into the boot and go, oh, there's something in there, and then reach in and it's a piece of wet, slimy rawhide.
The joys of dog parenting. Just need a little dish of water. Just enough that I can rinse this off.
Push the blade in.
Yeah. Basically, I'm just scraping down like this. The larger pieces that you can grip with your finger, you can hold on to them and pull. Now this is going to have to be scraped off. Some people are going to be really mad at me for not wearing gloves, but I need control. And it's not like this is going to kill me. I'm not putting my hands in my mouth after playing with this. I wash my hands. And if you wash your hands with hot water and soap, or antibacterial soap, even using hand sanitizer afterwards, you are not going to get sick.
Sicker.
Yes, I'm pretty morbid, ain't I?
No, you're not.
And don't be scared to use your fingernails because they can also be cleaned.
I imagine that dulls those blades pretty quickly.
Oh yes. The worst flesh for dulling blades is pig.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty bad. Doing come off. Yeah, pig is the worst.
That's the worst you've done so far.
Yes, so far.
Yeah.
This is what I was doing in the yard that time the Baptists came up selling lobster tickets.
And they haven't been back.
No.
Well. Scared them off. At least you didn't do what I did with that other group. I out-talked them.
Yeah, the Jehovah's.
Yeah. They couldn't get away from me fast enough and never came back.
Well, you knew what you were talking about, and that scared them. So. A lot of times, if you talk to the door-to-door religious people, they'll keep coming back to talk to you. When you out-talk them, and that they can't get a word in edgewise like you talk.
What are you talking about?
2 hours in Canadian Tire. Need I explain more?
What are you talking about?
Well, we went into the store. We had to be really quick because we didn't have a lot of time to do stuff that day. We were in and out to get something. We had what we had in our hand. We were going. Somebody asked you about lawnmowers, and then you started a 2-hour conversation with them.
Yeah, well, and you were looking at me, and then looking at the machete you were holding in your hand that we were buying.
Well, I mean, you just wouldn't shut up, and you had said before, just a quick in and out. We don't have a lot of time to do things today.
I never said that.
Yes, you did.
Did I?
Yeah. Because we were going to go and get my ID card.
Well, it was an interesting conversation. I have no idea what I was talking about. Not the first time that's happened.
Nope.
My mom would tell me to shut up. Flo would tell me to shut up. It's a wonder I speak at all.
I tell you to shut up. Basically, the second step in this
If
is
I was
scraping.
covered with feathers, my name would be Leghorn Foghorn.
Yep. Yeah, you're definitely Foghorn Leghorn.
Oh, it's Foghorn Leghorn?
Yeah.
Next thing you're going to tell me it's grilled cheese instead of cheese grill.
Yes. You can't help it. You just don't know any better.
What are you talking about? Would a wire brush work, or is it too harsh?
It might be too harsh, because it might scuff the bone up.
Sure. You might want to try it on a...
Yeah.
On a bone. You couldn't use a brass brush, because the brass would...
Leave marks.
Yeah, leave.
I think that the steel wire brushes might also leave marks on it, but I'm not sure. Usually, like, really stiff nylon brushes are best, I've found so far. Also, this tissue is still connected into the porous parts of the bone.
What was I saying? Grandma's denture brush. Nobody in your family has dentures?
What do you mean nobody in my family has dentures? Damn near everybody has dentures.
Uh-huh.
Pretty near everybody above the age of 40 has dentures. And here she is. She's all cleaned up. There's still a lot of staining on here.
Yeah, you can see that.
But since I am going to be painting, it doesn't matter the color of the bone, because it's just going to be covered up anyway. There's no sense bleaching white bone that's going to be painted over.
True.
So there she is, all cleaned up. There's some staining there, but as I said, that doesn't matter. And also, the staining will get, once the bone is dry, the staining will be less noticeable anyway.
Wow. Looks good.
Yep. Now she's going to go back in a bleach bath for 24 hours. And then after that, she's going to be rinsed, let to dry, then scrubbed up with soap. And then she's ready to go.